Hello again. Welcome back. From what I remember, last time we left off, we had just been on the trail of our good friend Ruben, but our good friend Ruben has completely fucking dropped off the map. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to the Crucible, see what our good friend Georgi has to say on the matter. Hopefully, there'll be some good results as a result of that, because I want to see what's going on in the polyhedron. I want to learn all about the inner workings of the polyhedron. I seem to remember on the last day of my previous playthrough, playing as the Bachelor, I spoke to Clara on the final day, and she seemed to be already aware of the whole situation, right? She seemed to already know that we are nothing but a fantasy within a fantasy within a fantasy, right? Now, I don't know if that's just, to make her seem like a more intriguing, alluring character when playing as someone else, or if that's actually going to be the case that I find out my answers sooner as her. I know some guy's trying to kill me right now, but I don't think he can get that close without the guards killing him. I wanted to just real quick... Yeah. Wait, hang on. No, he's not one of ours, is he? He's one of the Bachelors. Big Alex, however, is one of ours, and he could do with curing himself. So I guess we'll go do that instead. I would like to do a tour de innocence, a tour de bound, and see who we can bring back to life from the other people's bound. Probably on the final day, because again, if we can get a full house at the end, that would be nice. But obviously, priority always go to mine. There you go. Give him the schmauder. I've still got like 4 of those left, right? Had a pretty healthy stock. Yeah, still got 4 of those left. So hopefully, and this might be a little bit optimistic on my case, but hopefully there'll only be another 1 or 2 of my own bound to cure. We might only need like a couple extra schmauders in order to cure everybody. Just literally walking through town just now, though, I've clocked that both Sticky and Peter Stammerton are both in need of a cure, and that's just in the immediate vicinity. Like, obviously there's going to be more beyond that as well. The chances that the only 2 people, the people I just happened to walk past, are pretty fucking slim, if you ask me. Not impossible, but slim. This place is gross. I should go further south instead of walking through here. This isn't good for me. Oh, and look who it is. Not seen one of these guys in a while. What's up, boyo? Let's do some trading. Oh. Well, would have been nice. Would have been real nice, but we can't win them all, I suppose. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't know how I avoided that. I have zero clue how I avoided that, honestly. Like, it cornered me on a doorstep and I somehow just managed to sidle my way past it. It's entirely possible I didn't avoid it and it did hit me, but you normally get like a coughing animation if you actually get hit by one of those. Oh, hello. It'd be really cool if you had a schmauder just out of the blue. I can but try. Oh, this is more like it. I will take everything you've got, honestly. That's 3, 5, plus 14. So we need 19. I can probably muster that. There we go. I know that's a lot of expense, but that should see me through to the end of the game without having to buy any more infection tablets. And, you know, a few other nice bits and pieces in there as well, so not a bad little haul. I've also just got to take advantage of these trades when I get them at this point, because it's kind of getting rarer and rarer to find any of those particular NPCs on the street, so I'd be kicking myself somewhere down the line if I was running out of such things and I hadn't taken the opportunity for the trade, you know what I mean? Good to know that this area does seem to be somewhat brimming with children, though. I might come back here and just sort of meander around if I've got some free time for the rest of the day. See if I can't find a few more to trade with. I don't think they're particularly common, or if they can even spawn on this side of the river, so I wouldn't get my hopes up too much around here, but if we go back to that side, seems like a fairly prosperous area as far as children are concerned. You know, if you measure your economy in children. Children are the future, so, you know, when you think about it, not the worst metric. Hello, Georgi.
In growing old, we become more foolish and more wise.
I found out curious things about myself. What kind of things are they? Do tell. If you tell me something first, why is that tower so precious to you? We need the polyhedron to become flesh for Simon's spirit, but a harrowing decision like this will come at a terrible price. We'll have to say a final farewell to Nina, whose spirit resides there at the moment. That's impossible. The polyhedron can work miracles. It exists in defiance of all laws, imaginable and otherwise. It's a miracle made real, the pinnacle of our legacy, the utopia in the flesh. If it's destroyed, it will be lost for good. Nothing like it will ever be known to history. Why? It is capable of capturing a miracle. It captures the soul, it captures childhood. It feels like a world of eternal bliss to children who dwell within it. That's why they've set up their own republic there. And now it's your turn to speak. What was the blood that the Bachelor was talking about? This scares me. I don't understand a thing. These destroyers, the Haruspecs and the Bachelor, they say it was involved in the creation of that blood. If you and Reuben find the origin of the blood that holds a likeness to that of Simon's, then perhaps we may avoid having to banish Nina. It isn't Simon himself that we need, but the power of creation he wields. We live for its sake. Simon is not the polyhedron's purpose. Rather, Simon's purpose was to allow such polyhedrons to spring up in this world. I'd like to convince myself, personally. I'm afraid Nina will show you nothing since you're no longer a child. Kind of am. Or that, like me, Joe is kind of still a child, if you ask me. Like, my brain clearly hasn't fully developed yet. Or that you may possibly see there are cold walls and empty flights of stairs. But you promised. Victor will open the path to the polyhedron for you. Only he knows how to earn the good favours of his beloved wife. He was the only one she'd ever listen to. Oh my, that's a lot to reflect on. To Victor, then. I guess we do a favour for the old man, and he's like, well, I guess maybe if you go do a favour for my brother too, then maybe he'll let you in, but I'm not particularly helpful. I keep saying it's his brother, but it's not, is it? Victor's his nephew, I think. I think.
What?
Hope this torture ends soon. Victor, I'm going into the polyhedron, with Georgi's permission. Yes, I know, but I'm afraid you're not going to see anything there. I doubt that Nina would be favourably disposed towards you. Why? Because she loves me and is pained by the thought of having to part with my life, even with the guarantee that the whole affair will be a success. What are you talking about? You can't even begin to imagine the immense power of voluntary self-sacrifice. Don't you know there have been examples in history where someone living would give their life so that someone deceased could spend a little more time with their loved ones? You want to sacrifice your life for Nina? Nina is not just my beloved wife. She is a spirit in whose name one could charge into battle with despair itself. Nina has imbued the town with spiritual force. Nina has breathed life into it, and Nina too will save it from the Fourth Army and its cannons. But what about Simon? I thought he was the town's protector. Any member of the Circle of the Bound will readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of the town's salvation. Had Simon been a giant with enough blood to fill an ocean, the town would have been saved. But Simon's blood was only enough for a handful of people. How do I get into the polyhedron? It's simple. Go all the way to the top, you'll see my son there. If he's not there, wait for him, or tell one of the dogheads to call for him. When he receives you, you should immediately, without answering any questions, without a greeting or an apology, say the following words. Fane's Eye. Thank you. Fane's Eye. Ask for Khan, and then say Fane's Eye. I think I can remember that. I can try to remember that. I mean, technically it's only going to be like probably less than a minute away when I have to divulge that memory from the depths of my brain, but yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it will stick. Fane's Eye. The Eye of the Fane. The Eye of the Profane. Is that not what the polyhedron is? See, it's clever. I'm being clever right now. I think you should all stroke your chins and nod approvingly at the really smart things I'm saying. Sorry, I'm in one of those moods today. You can tell. See these hands? Oh yeah. Yeah. Want to be on the receiving end of that, do you? I've murdered men with these hands. More men than I could count. And for what? An opportunity to go into this big fucking dreidel of a building. I'm sure it'll be super exciting. No dog heads? Or is it just going to be a... Yeah, we just walk in and teleport. Okay, cool. We're in.
Our polyhedron trembled when this monster was dragged in. Tell them to go away.
I haven't seen you here before. I've never been here before. Why? That's just my fate. Never what it ought to be.
Only children can live in the tower. It's off limits to the rest.
So it's all about trickery to you, wherever have you come from? Fane's Eye. Now that's a surprise. Well, then come in. Do you wish to join us? Now of all times when they've just rolled in that cannon, or rolled out that cannon and roll it in some direction, I'm sure the mere sight of it will be enough to tear down 5 towns like ours. You astonish me. I do wish to become one of you. Good, an honest and straightforward answer. Well then, prepare for quite an ordeal. Wait, first I'd like to know what the tower is. The tower? It's a toy that makes any adventure pale in comparison. It's a treasure. It gives the gift of dreams. Here the most fragile fantasy can be played with forever. Here you can share your dreams with others and play in them together. But a dream can be retold if it's worth it. Yeah, or drawn, or... I mean, that's just silly. Don't you know that the most precious aspects of dreams, the things that make you want to keep on dreaming forever and never wake up again, vanish moments after you wake up? A dream can't be recorded or retold. The magic is gone then. You saying this tower can preserve dreams? Not just preserve them, bring them back, continue them, share them with others. Not just the characters and the worlds, but the very fragrances of the ether. The most magical of dream experiences, the most precious of fantasized events. Wait, these bare walls can do that? Are you seeing bare walls? I feel sorry for you. And what do you see? I see ships aflame traversing the islands of Orion. We won't find a lot of mutual understanding. Come in and look around. I'd have gladly showed you what I'd like to see, but you're grown up already. It's alright. How do I go in? Am I actually allowed in? Yeah, I guess so. One of these is the exit and one of these is the descent, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah, I didn't... Oh, what the fuck? Stupid game. Yeah, I wasn't honestly expecting to be able to just come in here. I wasn't expecting it to be this easy. I had to do a lot of work for this as the Bachelor, and I don't know, I probably just failed the opportunity to do this as the Haruspecs, but I sure as hell didn't get it. Let's put it that way. But for the Changeling, it's just do a relatively straightforward quest on a single day. I wonder if we're going to get to speak to the children in the sandpit. I wonder if we're going to get that. Only one way to find out, I suppose, but... Excuse me, gents. Yep, here we are. Day 9, and we're already here. Crazy. Jesus Christ. Why are you so big? Yikes, where have you come from? You can't be in here. Why not? We're playing here. You should be playing over there. Say, have you killed everybody yet? What? Those humble ones of yours. We've been arguing and arguing. He says you're the only one who can save all of the bound. While I say you're the only one who can kill them all off. And win. Who are you? My name's Teensy and he's Tot. Brilliant. But it's better to call him Measly. And me? You can call me Thrush. It's not a good name. I hate to say it, that's not a good name. How do you know who I am? I'm telling you, we're playing here. See, we're building a town in this sandbox, and we're playing Plague. Look inside. Notice anything? I think I'm about to go crazy, and I mean it, literally. Go away, you can't be here. Hospitable lot you are. What do you have to say, Tot/Measly? Ugh, this is awkward. Well, I suppose we should introduce ourselves. I'm Measly and she's Thrush. How did I get here? How did you get here? You tell me. Actually, this was never supposed to happen. You're meant to be over there. Look into the sandbox. This must be a miracle, I suppose. A miracle. But you're probably the only one who can do something like that. You can work miracles, right? I keep arguing with this dumbhead here. She says we're playing with you wrong. Says you're supposed to kill and not go around saving folks. Naughty you. What? Well, we really didn't put you in that sandbox so that you'd save everyone. But you've been going at it with such vim and vigor, you must really be alive. I guess you really could save everybody. Just imagine how great that would be. So you're kind, it turns out. Of course I am. She's the mean one. Thrush, more like Crush. Alright, I'm shutting up. Hey, no fighting over there. Better see our guest off. Yes, I'd rather be going. Go through the wall. None of this is really there, just glass that reflects thoughts. Thanks. Go through the wall. Is there like a thing we can do here? What does my quest log say? What's going on? Who is this? Is this the powers that be who Maglaya Lilik hates so much? What does this say of her being so loathsome towards them? So you got nothing else to add? No, okay. We've expended this little conversation. I'll be off then. Pleasure doing business with you folks. Well, wasn't that weird? Less surprising the second time around for sure, but it is very interesting that Clara discovers it so much earlier. There's still the whole ordeal that I believe Clara has a hand in. At the end of... Is this not the exit? Is it a bit further up yet? Yeah, I think so. At the end of the Haruspecs campaign, day like 11 or something, 10 maybe, he dived into a pit and died, I think. But then she brought him back by sacrificing one of her bound. I think that's what happened. I'm assuming that's going to play out on our end as well, but I'm interested to see how.
When this monster was dragged in. Tell them to go away.
It's all about trickery to you, wherever have you come from. No, I detest trickery. Guess we're done here. I thought maybe he'd have something else to add after that enlightening little event, but I guess not. I do wonder how many of the townsfolk are aware of the powers that be. I mean, it's heavily implied that Aglaiolic knows who they are, knows this is all a game, and is just, like, essentially trying to throw a spanner in the works. Just, I don't know, try to make life more meaningful by ruining the plans of the powers that be, of the greater powers, by trying to sort of take control of her own life on some level. I mean, Khan has to know what's going on as well, right? If he's the sort of keeper of the polyhedron, he's obviously been down there before. I wonder if the Canes are super aware. I mean, I know they are aware of the power of the polyhedron, of how they can utilize it to store a spirit of a dead person and show wonders to the children and stuff. But I don't know if they're aware of the powers that be themselves. I don't know if they've made that last jump. I don't think anyone else has much of a clue, to be honest. Hello.
I'm dead tired.
That's nice. You're no stranger to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I've cleansed the crude sprawl. You can see it for yourself. It's clean. Hold on, my girl. Here, let me look into your eyes. Look. Dope. Is that a result
So
of me...
This is what Block has in mind. Is he
that
noble enough to
Stop talking.
his personal
I'm talking.
feelings?
Stop talking. Right, I don't know if that's a result of me finding Clara every day. The other Clara, obviously. The whole cleansing the area, because I get some good rewards for doing that. So, if it is kind of worth doing, I think. Especially if I just Google where she is. Then there's not really much of a challenge to it at all, right? So I found out everything. Really? Amazing. You exceeded my expectations then, since no one was demanding such dedication from you. It was I who have found out everything. You've helped me there. I even feel a certain degree of gratitude. Well, so what have I found out? I doubt you know what I know now. Or else we'd be seeing less arrogance out of you, you plaything. Why, no offense taken. A typical example of rushing to conclusions. You're behind the times. Truths like the one you just presented me with are no longer fashionable. There's more in the Bachelor and Harrispex' line. By the way, don't give them hints if you meet them. Let them work it out on their own. Alright, so what have you found out? Summing up the conclusions drawn from your discoveries, I shall combine the casual relationships into a coherent picture. I shall reveal the arcane nature of the disease to you from a mystical standpoint. That was how it should have been revealed to you. I suppose all that I will tell you will be no news to you. Still, it will determine the wording of your verdict. Well, sum it up. And I've already found a path to victory. All these simulacra, these reflections of reflection shall confuse me no longer. I am firm in my faith, and I am free. Oh, indeed. So tell me, where did I come from? Speak, dummy. Try to talk me to death. Are you interested? Do listen, it's really about you. So the Earth begat the town, two entirely different worlds that have nonetheless managed to achieve a symbiotic existence. That was a miracle, a true miracle. Normally, civilization devours tradition. Why? People aren't inclined to be on good terms with their own history, yet in this particular town, the impossible happened. The people prevailed over the power structures. So how did it happen? As you can see, the town is small. It's made up of people, not ranks and functions. Fortuitous circumstances have enabled people to create an environment here that everyone could be happy in. But that was entirely due to a miraculous coincidence. What coincidence? It's rare that a succession of extraordinary personalities could stand at the helm of 5 generations. It's even rarer that they should have the love and respect for one another that allows them to carry on the policies of their predecessors. Here they have grown used to the miracle, and that was their undoing. They wanted to learn to control the miracles. The older generation had constructed an environment for bringing up the young in the same spirit. They paid for it. Why? The law stipulates a harsh punishment for an attempt to capture a miracle. The disease is a means of restoring the balance. A part of the chimeric town must be destroyed, and there's no turning back. The town and the miracle cannot coexist, and I swear I know what the choice should be between them. But what about me? What's going to happen to me? You're an instrument of the law, but your mission has been accomplished, and it being my mission not merely to understand you, but also to rein you in. I hereby prohibit you from existing and banish you from the town. The captured miracle shall pass into oblivion. You may vanish into the earth that you came from. Go, I permit you, both of you to be exact, to die in any way you prefer. On one condition. You're forbidden from even approaching the commander. Otherwise he may fancy himself your tool, or the other way around. I don't even know which is worse. Go. Farewell. Interesting. Well, you know, if someone forbids me from doing something... The story repeats itself. Aglaia has expelled me, branded me a villain, and demanded I should vanish from the face of the earth. However powerful this new enemy, it's a trifle against everything else I have to bear. Since we're no longer friends with her, should I go to the commander? He will be in the town hall. I wonder if this is going to affect my reputation or not, because, I mean, no one likes Aglaia. So her, like, deciding I'm the bad guy now probably isn't going to have a major effect on me. Like, let's face it, the army run the town. Aglaia just sits in the cathedral and pontificates. She's not exactly the all-powerful inquisitor that she was made out to be when she first arrived. Block holds the reins of power, and, you know, it does sort of just make sense to go to him if she's going to sort of try and flip the script on me like this. But yeah, she definitely knows. Like, obviously I never told her anything. She just was aware of it. And I don't know if that's because she was previously aware of it, or if there's some sort of telepathic power or something that she's supposed to have as an Inquisitor that allowed her to just know what I know. She sort of implied stuff like that in the past, but there's not really been any sort of concrete examples of that. Yeah, either way though, she clearly knows the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So, I wonder what that means for the rest of the people in the town. How much they know about things. I mean, there's some, like, proper left field characters, right? I mean, the sort of more down-to-earth people like Vlad the Younger, for example, their sort of cards are on the table, for sure. We know what they know and what they're about. Ditto even people like Capella and Maria, you know, for all their sort of weird otherworldly nature and everything. They are fairly straightforward to a degree, and we understand them. But then there's people like Mark Immortel and Aspity and Taya Taichi, you know, people who, I don't know, it feels like they might know more than they let on, for sure. They may have secrets. Maybe not Aspity so much, but the other two for sure. You're not going to kill that drunk. Not on my watch. I need him for trades. Doing okay, pal? Glad to hear it. Let me just very slowly loot this corpse and I'll get around to talking to you. Yeah, man. How profitable. It's a shame the little girl didn't have a schmouder for me, but We did get a free kill, followed quickly by a bandage trade, so I can't complain too much about recent circumstances. Right, where are we going? Was that is the same little girl. I don't know why she's like running through the fields instead of keeping to the path, but each to their own, I suppose. Where were we going? What was my goal right now? Fucking town hall, that's this way, right? Yeah. I completely forgot where I was going. My brain was trying to lead me to the Orgimsky residence, but I guess that's sort of ballpark, same area, but obviously not the same building. Obviously not where I was actually meant to be going. I don't know why I'm still looting bins at this point. I don't know why I'm bothering. I guess more bandages would be nice, but like I don't think we're going to need much more to get to the end of the game at this point. I think we're okay. Largely. Commander Block, my good friend. Some shit's gone down. I thought you would like to quite know about it. Here you are, sweet child. I've heard a lot about you. So you're the girl who's cured dozens of people with her holiness while also being persecuted and hounded for it by the unruly rabble. See? This guy's on my side from the start. I like him. It's not their fault. They just mistook me for someone else. That doesn't excuse them in the slightest. Besides, they were frightened. The base rabble always trample what they don't understand. They repay for a heroic deed with ingratitude. They ought to be spoken to in a different language, and I swear they will be. From now on, I'm not letting you out of my sight. You need reliable protection. There's no need for that. See, I'm unharmed, and that's because I'm invulnerable. I won't allow anyone to harm you. No one's ever said anything like this to me before.
We fought a just, defensive war, and now they want to turn us into a punitive expedition, into corpsmen.
Why have you come to me? Should I take it as a sign? Are you really this superstitious? Surely you're just making fun of me. On our way here, a lieutenant told me a legend about the holy sisters in arms of the warriors. He spoke of medieval wars, of pilgrimages, of the power of the Holy Spirit that led quiet and unassuming young girls, orphans, beggars and peasants, to call the might of the great armies to a lofty duty. I was profoundly moved by this story. It's a mere coincidence. Coincidences like this don't happen by chance. No, I gave it a lot of thought as we were travelling here. The story had come at the right moment. My life was approaching a watershed. Yes. I've staked everything on this military operation, my mission, my soul, my own destiny, and our country's. I need a voice from above, because I don't know who to listen to anymore. Speak on. Yes, my deployment to this plague-stricken little town has been an expedition into hell. I was meant to die here, and so it will happen. The old Alexander Block will die, but a new one will emerge from this place. From this town, an army will set out on a glorious march in the name of truth. I just hope it won't end in disaster.
My arms are stiff.
Don't be afraid, no one will dare harm you. Why do you say they've sent you here to your death? I've long become inconvenient to the Supreme Command since I've started my reform of the armed forces. Since I've turned the tide of the war, since I've made it clear that I'm striving to make perpetual warfare, the livelihood of corrupt generals, a thing of the past. They've tried and failed to get me killed by enemy fire, so now they're taking their chances to an unknown strain of plague. You know, this guy actually, I never liked him before, but the whole thing about wanting to make perpetual warfare a thing of the past, seems like a pretty good shout to me, honestly. So the powers that be are hoping the plague will kill you. They are, and they're also hoping that this mission will disgrace me. I, Alexander Block, a hero of both campaigns, victorious and venerated by the people, now appear as a headsman and a scourge. When they gave me the assignment, they went out of their way to make clear how much the people are going to despise and detest the destroyer of this tiny town. Who? I feel like what they want the most is for this town to continue to exist. Diseased and miserable, in flames and in pain, a smithy of shared suffering. But still here. They've sent the army in out of fear and of popular opinion. The people wield power too. Then the people won't hate you. They will. The powers that be will take care of that. They know how to manipulate the masses. They will frame the town's destruction not as a necessary sacrifice for the sake of public safety, but as a horrific mistake resulting from confusion. They will take all the credit for any good that will come out of this, and let me take all the backlash. Sorry, the jump noises in the music is really catching me off guard. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Jump. 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 So the powers that be have destined you for the disease.
We fought a just.
Okay. That was a fun chat. Is there anything else to take from this, or... My work for today is done. Alright. I'm still not completely alone. A single tiny hook is left in the town holding me steady. I'm not speaking of a sister anymore, but of the immortal man. Simon Kane is the last person I should see here. How the fuck am I going to see... I mean, it says my work today is done, so maybe I'll see Simon later. Not today, but... I do wonder where little sister is today. Should have googled this one before I started recording, but... if we don't wrap up the day today, which I don't know if we will do. What time are we on? Yeah, we've got quite a bit of day left. I might try and track her down for tomorrow. It doesn't look like a Glaya Lilic's likely to reward me for it this time, though, if that's indeed what she was rewarding me for. Because we're not on the best of terms anymore, it seems. Had a bit of a spat, a bit of a quarrel. What do I do with my time? Again, I do have an awful lot of lockpicks, so I could just do some breaking and entering, but I don't think there's really much benefit to it right now, aside from potentially Schmauder trading. How many Schmauder tradables do I have right now? A good question, I think. One that needs a good answer. Got 9 needles and a hook, a flower. And that's it, right? We don't have any nuts. Oh, I've got 2 hazelnuts. I think they're only worth 1 each, though. So yeah, we've only got enough for 1 Schmauder. I don't think there's any point resetting until we can at least buy 2. So I'll keep looting bins and stuff, see if I can get enough tradables for 2 Schmauders, and then I'll reset a house for 1. But in the meantime, fuck knows what I do. Walk around town, I guess. Keep hoping I can get some good trades in. Find some knife guys to kill. While I'm here, I might just check in Ruben's place and just see if he's there, because if he was the whole time... I mean, I know I don't actually need to talk to him anymore, but... Fucking rats, man. Fucking rats. Hello, pal. You know what? Yeah, I could use some more of those. A pleasure. A pleasure and an honour. I do have 15k again. I don't know if that's worth... He is just here. You're not that hard to find, are you?
Valor is to do without wit.
I can't even talk to him about anything. I can't even be like, hey, by the way... Like, half the fucking city's looking for you. Do you have any updates on the whole Simon Blood situation? You know? I don't really want to spend all 15k because I think I might need to buy a bit more food yet, but...
That sleeps well.
If there is something we can get, a piece of clothing perhaps we can get relatively cheaply. Spoilers, there isn't. Fucking 90,000. 90,000? Ludicrous money. Ludicrous. For some shoes. Why are shoes so much more expensive than guns in this town? How did that happen? Who developed the economy round here? The local cobbler? Crazy shit, man. Crazy. I don't really know what I'm doing. I guess I'm just sort of trying to do a internal head count of who's sick and who isn't. Seems Notkin's fine. Grief's fine. We'll head over and see how Murky's doing. I say I just didn't really have much else on, so it's nice to just sort of to get the vibes out, you know. Shit. Never find my way out of... Ooh, hang on. Something happens. Just as I thought, Clara, the two medics that hold our fate in their hands have decided to fight each other. They gave every appearance of friendship now, but each of them is furtively preparing a group of henchmen prepared to capture, maim, and destroy their opponent. My spies have informed me of the preparations that the Bachelor undertakes. I'm powerless here, for I cannot arrest the Bachelor while I still need his services. The best we can do is warn Barak of the possible assault. He's working in a house next to the Lump, the Ogimsky family home. I'm near there. I will reward you generously. Aglaya Lilik. Well, I mean, you did just say that you want me to go and die, and now you're asking for a favour from me, but since I've got fuck all else to do, I suppose I can do this. Did I, like, complete today's quest too quickly or something? Was the game not expecting me to have had that conversation with Aglaya yet? Because, it does feel like a bit of a tonal shift, that, doesn't it? It's feel a little bit off-putting. I'm assuming we're going to have yet another case if we go into the house and a bunch of dudes try and murder me. Another one of those sort of deals, so we can speak to the Haruspecs again, but a reward is a reward, and, you know, at least the Haruspecs' dudes are usually pretty easy to deal with. What's the betting this letter I've just got is from Maria, asking me to go warn the Bachelor about the Haruspecs. You want to put money on that? Because I think I fucking would at this point. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, Spooky Cloud. I didn't deserve that. I have to ask you for a favour once again. They're much embittered by the events that took place yesterday. They both went to see Commander Block yesterday, and the meeting gave the Haruspecs additional incentive to end Daniel once and for all. Daniel went to the Tanner's district to speak to Andre. After that, for some unknown purpose, he wanted to inspect the houses next to the Twireen Shebeen. I don't know what that is. I don't know what... Is that the pub? It's probably the pub, isn't it? Please tell him he must leave there at once. The drunkards from the Shebeen were likely to reveal his whereabouts to the Haruspecs. We don't have much time. Rest assured I'll repay you for this service as well as services to follow. Okay, so we've got a house here somewhere. So we'll once again just... Not this one. We'll once again just give it a bit of this. There's another house down here which I want to check before I move on. It specifically said one next to the Ogimsky Manor. I don't know if that just means it's in this district. Oh fuck. But since it said it's next to it, it feels like it's got to be one of the ones that's like directly across the street. Right? Surely? Surely? There's not that many houses in this district, to be fair, so it shouldn't take me too long to search them all if need be, but I am just going to check the immediate ones first. Not that one. Not that one. This is the last one that's like actually next to it, isn't it? I am so surprised I didn't get hit that time. Drastically surprised I didn't get hit. This isn't two houses connected together, is it? This is just one big residence. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So, following that. Yeah, okay. Keep on keeping on. This one. Nope. This one for sure. Probably this one. Yeah? I think it's this. Hey guys. I haven't saved today.